G'day viewers, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for WAINGAFAT Wednesday.
It's WAINGAFAT Wednesday, it's WAINGAFAT Wednesday, and I'm WAINGAFATting again. I'm so happy about that.
Yep, and if you don't know what that means, it's an acronym that stands for What Am I Not Giving a Fuck About Today? And what may surprise some people is I'm going to talk about the Australian federal election.
Surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, because I'm fairly political a lot of the time, but honestly, this election, this campaign has pretty much sucked the life out of me.
Yes.
I dislike them all so much, I just can't care.
He doesn't. He's really real. He doesn't. And he's got it. Oh, he's angry about it. He's angry and angry as.
But look, for those who are still listening, let's go through and we'll explain a few things about the options in this election.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-tively.
Now, your big picture choices, two major parties.
Two majors.
First, you could vote in such a way that the existing government retains power. That's going to be much of a muchness.
Much of a muchness, much of the same thing.
And I do feel I need to point out that means having one of the strongest economies in the developed world.
That is true. That is real, actually.
All the stuff the libs have been saying about, oh, crisis, oh, disaster,
oh, it's come to eat your babies,
is lies.
It's not real.
I don't know how they've got away with it. No. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Rupert Murdoch owns all the media in this country.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's no longer illegal.
It's got to the stage where it's quite hard to tell, is the Murdoch press the PR wing of the Conservative parties, or are the Conservative parties the PR wing of the Murdoch press? It's really hard to tell.
Who can say?
It's the fun world we live in. But basically, yes, our economy's strong. You need to compare to the US and Europe if you want to know what trouble is like. So, but it's not a lot to be inspired by. Oh, a few people are excited by the prospect of marriage equality laws being put in place.
I'm excited by that prospect. I'll be getting out my grey suit.
Kev's got the world excited with speechifying on that recently.
Yeah, go Kev.
But honestly, one of the reasons, although I don't disagree with many of their policies, that I can't get enthusiastic about Labor potentially winning a long shot is honestly Kevin Rudd. He's fucking crazy.
A little bit, yeah.
If he wins, he's already been out of control in the past with his ego and he's pushing people around. If he against all odds wins, that's the front row seat to crazy town.
Yeah, but he's big and cuddly, isn't he? He's big and cuddly like a big teddy bear with teeth.
That will bite the head off any kitties that upset him.
Oh, I was going to kiss your baby, but I accidentally bit its head off.
So it was essentially, it would be the rewarding of some very bad behaviour. He's undermining of previous Prime Minister Julia Gillard.
Fucking sandwich. Sorry, go on, yes.
Which, to be fair, he was undermined in turn. He probably never should have been offed, but it shows this sort of dysfunction in the Labor Party. Everyone should be convinced they're the best government ever, but they're so dysfunctional in a public sense. You can tell lies about things being a problem and get away with it.
Yeah.
It's weird. So I'm not very enthusiastic about them, and probably just as well because they're probably going to get their fucking clock cleaned in this election.
Maybe. We've still got an actual vote to have. Just because Murdoch tells us so doesn't mean it's necessarily so, though.
I will be the happiest wrong person in the world if I am wrong about this. Because the alternative is Abbott-led Conservative coalition. And look, if you haven't been paying attention, and Abbott and crew have done their best to distract your attention from actual policy intentions.
What are you talking about? What's that? That's a boat nigger. Kill him, quick.
So aside from stop the boats, which is something that he actually can't possibly do.
Boat niggers, run.
Let's talk about actual impact of an Abbott-led coalition government. First we go industrial relations.
Fucked.
Public health.
Fucked.
Public education.
Fucked. Is that spelled right?
Probably. Women's rights.
Fucked.
In fact, any kind of minority issue.
Fuck off and fucked.
Now, I could bring up asylum seekers now, but they're fucked under anyone at the moment.
Anyone.
And honestly, I kind of think maybe Labor need a good shellacking, so they might wake up to themselves and actually provide some alternatives. And on that note, I just want to say, if you're in Australia, you'll hear the politicians always refer to Western Sydney, because there's so many swinging seats there at the moment. People of Western Sydney, in case you've missed the point of it all, both major parties have decided you're stupid, willfully ignorant, and horrifically fucking racist. Okay? So if you're a white person in Western Sydney, that's not me talking. That is both major parties have declared you to be that much of a fuck up. I'm hoping that you display evidence to the contrary.
And we see evidence all the time of this to be real, by the way.
But in case you're missing the subtext of what the politicians have been saying, they have essentially all declared you to be uber fucking bogans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is unpleasant, and you shouldn't be stereotyped like that. Do us a favour and prove them wrong. Hey, shall we talk about minor parties?
Let's talk about minor parties. They're crazy.
Okay.
Actually.
The Greens.
No. Fucking just no. Don't do it.
Now, AIDzee has negative feelings to the Greens.
Like you wouldn't fucking believe. For a party that's good about so many good stuff, I can't stand these fuckers.
I'm ambivalent. I think they have not come close to proving their worth. Now, I know a lot of Green supporters will watch this. Feel free, in all seriousness, explain why you think they're awesome. I'm very ambivalent towards them. I feel they have often fallen into the minor party problem of not having to worry about consequences.
Oh, man. And see, the trouble with, in my life, everything is consequences. Everything is consequences. I am the consequences of broken consequences. And under the Greens, I am screwed mightily.
Because their hyper-focus on a single issue, while I agree it's an important issue,
and it is,
can have some bad fallout.
Big time.
But, look, and let's go for the real fun ones. If we head up to Queensland, we've got Bob Katter's party.
Yeah, man. He sings.
And he's about big hats.
He's about big hats and singing and making Australia good.
In his defence, he deeply believes in core issues.
Yeah.
He's dedicated to his constituency.
Yeah, true story.
It's just if you say the wrong thing to him, he goes a bit crazy.
He does tend to.
But he's had so much scrutiny on him, it's almost understandable.
It kind of is, yeah.
He's a little bit crazy pants, and he's named his party after himself.
Why wouldn't you? But I mean, that's also siege mentality stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you get called crazy so many times that you become a little bit of it, and then they go, well, look, you're being crazy, and then you become a bit more of it, and then it just all sort of cycles down in a spiral of conservative love.
And while we're talking about possibly crazy Queenslanders naming political parties after themselves, we've got Clive, the Palmer, Australia, dig holes in the ground party.
I want to make a boat, guys. Clive Palmer, I see it around the boat. See, we've been here.
I know.
And it was so much fun the first time that Clive has indulged us by coming back so we can do it again.
So, Clive may win seat or seats in Queensland, which could be amusing.
Just fantastic.
We also have in various parts of the country Christian lobby groups doing their best. And one could argue directly opposed to them, the Australian Sex Party.
Absolutely.
Who I was actually this close to actively campaigning for, but I wasn't this true. And they ended up weirding people out by cutting a preference deal with One Nation.
Who actually says on their front banner, we actually like being racist. I am summarising.
Dot points.
But it's like, yeah, no, it's got to be white or piss off.
So a lot of people worried about that. And to me, this is why I will never go into politics, because you would regularly be faced with the challenge. Do you want to win, or do you only want to deal with nice people? Because so many times you're given the choice of, if you work with the bad person, you will win. Hey, short-term selling of soul for long-time achieving goal. Particularly if the choice between this final Senate seat is between the Australian Christian lobby, Family First, I think they're calling themselves, and the Sex Party. I'm leaning slightly towards any means necessary at that point.
At that point, definitely.
But this is also why I won't go into politics, because of that sort of thing. And speaking of people who any means necessary, the WikiLeaks party. Who knew that when you set someone up as a messiah-like figure like Julian Assange, I'm taking on the world, I'm the guy, that he develops a messiah complex? And
yeah, it's getting more and more obvious that he has. Half of the board of his party up and walked away this week. because they basically turned up and said it's not very democratic, and what Julian says goes. And much like his own company and WikiLeaks,
Yes.
with the same things happened there, and it's happened again. And everyone said, we were going to join in because it was cool and about justice, and there's no justice, and it's just not cool.
Yeah, so WikiLeaks had a bit of a stumble. Who knows if they'll have any sort of a showing in the election. But yeah, this is the problem with chosen one status. You start to believe your own press at a certain point.
It's a cross-eye bear.
So, yes, soon to come, the AIDzee Look Out Grab Your Ankles party in the next Senate election.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All I need is 4.5%.
And anything could happen. And honestly, I have been really disengaged from this election. I will probably be more interested in deconstructing the result.
I'll be frigging interested in deconstructing the result, because most of the result is going to fucking deconstruct me.
One of the vulnerable, as in, if you don't give me medication, I'll be dead. So, you know, it's one of those funny things where it's a real scenario we're talking about here.
Fucking yes.
Doesn't get much realer. So, we will actually come back next week and deconstruct the result for you. And if, as what I regard as the almost inevitable crushing win of the Conservative parties, my God, I'm going to have shit tons of material for the next couple of years to just lose my shit over.
Always a bright side.
Yeah, see?
Always
glass half full.
Mm.
If the person who I honestly think is not a person of high calibre leads the party with whom I disagree with the majority of their policies gets in, at least I'll have fun swearing about it.
Yeah. You
So-
don't mind if I live here, do you?
Yeah.
That'd be okay, won't it?
You're just saying that because I cleaned up and you can sleep on the sound deadening foam.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. And I got a sleepy bag somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sorry to say, if anyone wanted me to really explore politics, these people have managed to suck the life out of me in this election. But we will deconstruct the result next week. And honestly, no matter what happens in this, get real. Nobody wins every election. You know what? People you don't like win elections. Policies you don't like get enacted. The pendulum swings both ways. If the outcome doesn't make you happy, just fucking deal with it. Because people I really can't give a fuck about, the one when their chosen party doesn't win an election is, that's it, I'm leaving the country. You know what? Fuck off. Honestly, if you've got no fight in you, if you can't take a long view, no one gets their own way all the time. That's not fair.
Only Angry gets his own way all the time.
In a limited kind of way, as in he never gets anything his way.
Ever. Yeah.
So, you know.
And I kind of like it in a French maid wearing got to clean up now way.
Yeah, it's all those years in Berlin conditioned you for it, I think.
I liked it.
Yeah. So, yeah, just, again, keep a hold of reality. Anything that happens is only temporary. This too shall pass. But one thing that won't go away is us. We'll be back soon and we'll see you then.